Hey guys, Participant here, and welcome to a very special episode in HermesCraft Survival. Today we're doing Q&A with the server. This guy right above me, Minor Supply HC, and we're joined with Vinicius Cool, aka Mr. Dino Gaming. We're fine. Who wants to start? Me or you?
I don't care.
Okay. What are the plans for the server?
Well, as you guys know, Skyblock has already come out, and that's one of our better servers at the moment. However, we have plans to be releasing a survival, a creative, and a faction server. Every single one 2 weeks after the release of the previous server. The next server that's expected to come out in about a week and a half, since we released the server just recently, is going to be creative, and after creative is going to be survival and factions after that. So that's as far as I can tell you, but I can already guarantee you right now that the server Skyblock is going to be consistently developed on and worked on, and have things that have been added to it.
Okay.
Okay.
Dino, you next.
Have any questions?
Any questions?
Let me do this stuff.
You're lame.
Okay.
What are you doing? You're hitting back.
Beat on him. The beat on him. Get questions.
I can't
What am I
punch him.
Well, my staff are all here, I guess.
That's awkward.
All my staff are here. They're all chilling out. My staff are coming to say hi.
Tell him to say hi to
Mr. Dunamis YT is one of my junior mods, and Girlish is one of my helpers.
I'm friends with Blue. Blue's a nice guy. Okay, anyways. Who is TC Miles?
Who is Miles?
Yes, TC Miles.
Oof. Okay. Miles is actually one of our sponsored YouTubers. He is paid to record videos on the server and post them on his channel. Which we only really do that for people that have a certain subscriber count, because we don't want to be too much out of money, because we're already paying a lot right now, and not to mention the fact that, on top of that, we have to pay monthly for the server and, buy craft and all the other stuff. So it really does make it difficult to choose partnerships, but we try to find good YouTubers that we can actually, don't add them to the group, that we can actually, sponsor and hopefully get a good advertisement out of. And we do plan on maybe possibly getting a collaboration with you two and Miles to try to see if that might be something that you guys would consider doing. Miles is 3,000. He has 2,000 subscribers from what I last checked, and he's consistently growing. And he's streamed with Preston or TBNR Frags a couple times actually. So
yeah.
Something worth.
I'm adding him into the group chat right now. Okay.
Don't add him to the group chat. Don't add him to the group chat. Don't add him to the group chat. Please don't.
Okay, don't.
Dunamis is very. I'm just not gonna talk about him. I just don't. It's a bad idea.
Okay.
Any more questions?
Well, yes. Can't be around. Oh yeah, giveaways on the server in Minecraft.
Huh?
Any giveaways planned for server on the server for Minecraft?
Yes. We're planning on adding key alls, where we give keys out to players who are on the server. Every single person on the server will receive a key at a certain time, which will be announced both in our Discord and in game. And that'll most likely be either to a regular or a super crate. We haven't quite decided yet, but it will have to be manually done since there's no plugins that can actually do it. But that's okay. But yeah, we plan on doing that stuff, as well as adding certain events that are going to be done in game to get rewards, such as
the
ranks or in-game currency or in-game items. if you noticed, we actually had a parkour event recently where the reward was, I think it was an epic key. I don't quite remember what it was. All I know is.
All I know is when I missed it.
Yeah,
Also,
there's events that we try to get as many events as possible to make it more interesting for the players.
I do know that you guys do Discord events, giveaways.
Yes, we do Discord giveaways rather often, actually.
Yeah, when is your next one?
Our next one is actually planned for when we get 100 members. We're going to be giving away an Olympian rank, which is the highest rank at the current moment on the server.
That's right,
That's if we get 100 members in Discord, which at the moment I believe we have 96 or so. So we're very, very, very close. So I would recommend inviting your friends, and you guys have a chance of getting in.
I do, however, have we'll put the link into the Discord, to your Discord server in my video. Top one, guys. Assuming Dino would do the same thing.
Nope.
Are you gonna ask a question or no? I know this is just me.
Shut up. How long have you been working on the server before you released it to the public?
Oof.
That's a good one.
Well, on this specific server in general, or working on servers in before?
Both.
Say in general.
Both? Okay, so HermesCraft actually started out as it started out as just a single server that I had bought off of a hoster. Biggest regret of my life, just let me tell you that much. Don't ever buy servers off of hosters, guys. Buy dedicated servers. They're so much better in every way. And it was actually originally supposed to be just a faction server. But after getting introduced to a couple people after I was trying to find some staff, I found out that there was a dev team that was willing to work for us. So we got a VDS that was a 10 gigabyte VDS, which is a virtual dedicated server, which is a little bit different. And I'll explain why in a bit. And so they were working on that, and then it was still faction server, and then about halfway through I flipped it on them and wanted them to make it into a Skyblock server based off of popular demand. And because faction servers tend to be rather toxic, and I know we're adding a faction server, but I'm only really adding it because people knew HermesCraft as a faction server before it became a Skyblock server, and I feel like it's only fair to those people that they should be allowed to have their factions they were promised. I've been working on the server for about 2.5 months now.
That's a good long time.
The Skyblock server took around 2 months, and it was actually expected to take longer, which is why we're still developing it right now. We were actually going to wait a couple more weeks to release it because there was still some more stuff we needed to add. This server has around 70 plugins in total, and about 15 of them are premium plugins, meaning paid for, and a couple of them are custom. So this server took a very long time to implement and very long time to configure. Really took a long time, a lot of funds, but it came out good, so that's what counts.
Yeah, they come out good. I can't read my own. I can't read my own handwriting. My handwriting's in this. Definitely have anything? I mean, Dino?
Let's see.
That's old.
For your survival server, what kind of plugins do you think you're going to be adding?
Well, as I stated earlier, I actually purchased Diagon MC off of Mystic, so it's gonna have about the same plugins as Diagon did.
Okay.
The only thing that's gonna be different is everything's just gonna switch from Diagon to HermesCraft, and we're also gonna be adding in a couple of our premium and custom plugins into that as well. So it will be slightly different, but I can't tell you too much information. You guys can check it out when it comes out in a couple weeks. In about, I think it's 5 weeks or so, it's supposed to come out. So actually, our creative server, if I'm not mistaken, is supposed to come out this weekend. So you guys can be there for that.
I actually will.
From what I understand, it's supposed to be released this weekend because did I release the server? I don't remember. I think I released this server. No, I did not release the server. When did I release it? The 12th. The 12th. So actually, no, it's not coming out this week. It's coming out next week, next Saturday. I think it's the 12th.
Me and Dino will not be here for that. We will be at a reading for my stepbrother.
It will be on the 26th. The 26th of May is the expected date for the creative server to come out, and then the 9th of June is when Survival's coming out, and then 23rd of June is when Faction's coming out. That's what we planned, although I'm not sure if that'll end up happening, but I'm hoping it does.
Are you hoping you get ahead of schedule by any chance?
Am I hoping you get a what now?
Ahead of schedule.
Even if we get the servers done before the release date, we want to wait. We want to wait to release it for between every 2 weeks because we want to make it more anticipated and give people more time to enjoy the servers that are already out. Because if we were to release them too close to each other, you know, it would get really boring really fast because then people wouldn't be able to enjoy the servers for what they are. So we leave them 2 weeks to enjoy themselves on that server, then the new one comes out and they can say, oh, I can go try that one out, you know, but they have the experience on the other one still that they can go back to if they get bored. It's actually mostly for the purpose of making it more interesting for you guys. Because if we consistently keep changing, if we keep adding more servers, you guys will have time to enjoy them before the next one comes out.
I have a recommendation for a minigame. It's a guard PvP. It's on Jerry and Harry's. It's one of my favorite minigames ever because you go around and you go murder animals and then you fight. And it's kind of like, you know, a Gario. It's kind of like that.
That's what it's based off of.
That's just my favorite minigame ever.
Well, I can look into some information on that and see if we might be able to make that happen.
Yeah.
We plan on having quite a bit of different selection on this server.
That'd be good.
You shouldn't be bored.
Parkour be one of them because I know there's a lot of people out there who like parkour.
We will probably have a warp parkour in every single server, all of which have some kind of reward at the end.
Good, like I suggested.
But we have got a couple requests to have a parkour server, but I really don't feel like that's that fair because, you know, an entire server just for parkour is pretty, you know, pretty rage quitty, and it tends to make people want to be on the server as much. So that's why I'm putting them in each one of the. That's why I'm putting at least 1 or 2 or 3 maybe in each one of the servers. That way you guys can go on the different servers and enjoy them if you want to do parkour.
Something I haven't seen on very many servers, like only one, droppers.
Actually, Miles is a dropper map maker, and he has quite a few different sections of dropper maps, and we are considering using one of his maps as an event in the future.
I played one of his maps, and I rage quit.
Yeah, we're actually planning on using one of his dropper maps as an event in the future, when the server becomes a little bigger and, you know, we get more, you know, a stronger player base. Of course, that is if we get a stronger player base. I'm hoping we will, because with the amount of funds that we have going for us right now, we could definitely get good advertising on big websites and a lot of YouTubers. So I'm hoping that the server will blow up so we can have these major events that we plan on having, where people can come together and use their skill on this game and their understanding of different servers and different kinds of game modes, so they can be really successful at these events. Because right now I'm crap at dropper. I'm bad at parkour, so you know I'm not.
I'm with you there. I'm pretty good. I'm decent at dropper, but I'm very bad at parkour. Like I can barely make this hops I made, that's when Dino calls them, up to the top of my cactus farm.
You destroyed my house.
I fixed your hops. I made them better, okay?
My house.
I made them harder and better.
Harder for you.
Oh god, I'm glitching. My ping's so terrible. No, it's back normal. I don't know. I can't think of anything else. What about you, Dino?
With your server, how many like servers are you gonna have? Like aside from creative, survival, and factions.
That's actually a very good question. So you're basically asking how many total?
Or yeah, and like what kinds?
We plan on having mini games, as I said, survival, creative, factions, skyblock, and I don't know. Right now there's not we don't have like a entire schedule worked out of what each server we're gonna have, besides those 4 that I've already told you about.
It's basically ring it.
Basically, we're not, well, in a sense, yes, but Cheers. But as far as this goes, we can get a lot of RAM on the server if we want to. So it's totally just comes down to how much we're able to get developed within a certain amount of time, and if we can,
Oh no.
how like popular will that server be? But as of right now, those are the only 4 servers we have plans for. However, we only originally had plans for Skyblock, and within a week, we actually had plans for 3 more servers. So,
Oof.
you know, things can change very quickly.
They can.
Yeah.
And there may be some information I'm not telling you guys.
Top secret classified information. Oh, I forgot I had my original disc down too because I'm recording and this it eats my original. My recording disc kills it.
Is there any other questions?
What's the size of your staff team?
Around 15 people in total.
That's pretty good
And
size. Pretty good
We have
size.
15 people on release, and we have a couple applications for staff so far that we can choose from. So,
Miners, I need you face for a screenshot. Come here.
And another related question: what about your dev team?
I actually don't have a very big dev team, unfortunately, dude. This is mostly due to the fact that I can't find any skilled developers that aren't willing to stick around. I've hired many developers in the past, but they usually don't want to stick around. They usually only want to be here and then get paid and leave.
Have you tried asking Rex's
Yes.
Digon? What's his response?
Who on Digon?
Rex's, he's the co-owner of Digon.
I
Speaking of
actually
Digon.
haven't, but I'm actually considering that now.
Speaking of Digon.
There he is. Miestic.
Yes.
You said who is the co-owner?
Rex. Rexix.
He's still there.
I'll have to have a word with him.
You have to. I press alt tab. Hi. Oh, okay.
Is there any other questions for you?
No, that's
Jordan?
it for me.
Can't think of any more.
Alright, so I guess that's the end.
Yes, sir.
Until next time, guys. Peace.